All right, so ready to dive in? Today we're going to be talking about success.
Ooh, success.
Big
Yeah.
topic.
Yeah, it's a big one, right? Like everybody wants it.
Right.
But how many people actually know what it is?
That's the question, isn't it?
Yeah, and we're gonna try to figure that out today.
Let's do it.
What we have is this huge stack of quotes
Right.
from all kinds of people
Right.
about success.
I love it.
So we're
Wait,
gonna see what they say.
Yeah. What really makes someone successful?
Right.
Is it all fame and fortune?
Right. Is it just the external things, or is there like something else?
Right.
Something deeper going on?
Yeah, I'm intrigued.
Yeah, me too.
So let's unpack this.
Okay, well, one of the quotes we have here is from Steve Jobs.
Okay.
And he says that if you really look closely, most overnight successes took a long time.
It's so true.
So true,
You know, and
right.
we all want those quick wins,
Yeah.
right? The instant gratification.
Yeah, we want to put in minimal effort
Exactly.
and get maximum reward.
Yeah.
But I think you especially would appreciate this idea,
Yes.
knowing that success is a marathon, not a sprint.
Yes, 100%.
Right. It's about consistency, and it's about showing up every single day.
Yes, and it reminds me of that other quote that success isn't owned, it's leased, and rent is due every day.
Yes. Love that one.
It is, and it's that J.J. Watt quote, you
Mm.
know, and it's so true.
Absolutely.
Okay.
You have to keep putting in the work,
You do.
day after day.
Have you run into people in your work that really embody that?
Oh, yeah, all the time.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of a colleague of mine
Yeah.
who spent years developing this incredible new technology, and there were
Uh-huh.
so many setbacks.
Oh, I bet.
Moments where giving up would have been so easy.
Yeah.
But she had this unwavering belief in what she was doing,
Wow.
and she just kept going.
That's incredible.
And in the end, her persistence paid off.
That's amazing.
It did. She created something truly groundbreaking
Wow.
and impactful.
So it wasn't an overnight success.
No.
It was years of work.
Years of dedicated effort.
Wow, that's so inspiring.
It is.
Okay, but this is what I want to know.
Okay.
What does success even mean?
Right.
Is it just those big accomplishments?
The tangible stuff?
Yeah.
Or is there something more?
Yeah, like a deeper personal layer to it.
Well, I think our quotes offer some interesting perspective on that. For example, we have Bo Bennett,
Yeah.
who says, success is not in what you have, but who you are.
Mm.
And then we have Maya Angelou,
Oh, wow.
who adds that success is liking yourself, liking what you do, and liking how you do it.
So are you saying that being successful could mean being like a genuinely good person?
It's definitely part of the equation, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, think about it.
If
If you're not living in alignment with your values,
Yeah.
if you're not happy with who you are,
Yeah.
can you really consider yourself successful?
That's a good point.
No matter how much money or fame you have.
Yeah. Okay. I like that.
It's about that inner peace
Right.
and fulfillment.
Yeah. And, that makes me think of another quote that I really like that said, success is not just about what you accomplish in your life. It's about what you inspire others to do.
Absolutely.
So maybe,
That's making a difference.
yeah, maybe the most successful people aren't the ones with like the biggest names
Right.
or the most awards.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
the ones who lift others up
Right. Exactly.
and make a difference.
And leave a positive impact.
Like, someone who might not have
Mm,
the corner office
yeah.
or a fancy title.
But they dedicate themselves to helping others,
Right. Yeah.
making their community a better place.
Yeah.
Isn't that a form of
That's
success?
huge success. Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
All right, but let's be real for a
Okay.
second.
Okay.
We've all faced setbacks.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Rudy.
More than a few.
Those moments where you just want to give up.
Yes.
So how does failure fit into this whole idea of success?
Right. Like, is it just the opposite?
Is it the absence of success?
Yeah.
Or is it something else?
Well, we have Winston Churchill,
Okay.
who said that success is walking from failure to failure with no loss of enthusiasm.
He would know a thing or two about that, wouldn't he?
He would.
Leading Britain through World War II.
Yeah.
Talk about facing setbacks and
Right.
challenges.
Yeah. And then we have George Patton,
Okay.
who says, success is how high you bounce when you hit bottom.
I love that.
Right.
It's about resilience.
Yeah.
It's about not letting those setbacks define you.
So it's not about avoiding failure.
No, it's about how you respond to it.
Oh, okay. That's interesting.
You're going to stumble, you're going to fall,
Okay.
but it's what you do next
Okay.
that matters.
Okay. Yeah. I see that.
Do you get back up?
Yeah.
Do you learn from your mistakes? Well, you know what's interesting?
What's that?
We have this quote from Coco Chanel,
Okay.
who says, "Success is often achieved by those who don't know that failure is inevitable."
Mm-hmm.
So is that a bit of ignorance is bliss?
Maybe.
I don't know.
Maybe a healthy dose of optimism can be powerful,
Right.
especially when you're stating out.
Okay.
You don't know what you don't know.
Right.
And that can be a good thing
Right.
sometimes, but
Right.
but we also need to be realistic.
Yeah.
Failure is a part of the journey, and it's how we learn and grow.
Okay.
Oh, and speaking of learning from failure,
Okay.
there's a great quote from Dale Carnegie.
Okay.
He says that the successful man will profit from his mistakes and try again in a different way.
I like that.
So it's not just about bouncing back.
Okay.
It's about bouncing back smarter.
All right. So we've talked about persistence,
Right.
then self-belief,
Yeah.
and the role of failure.
Mm-hmm.
But how do we translate all of this into action? Where does the doing part come in?
That's the key question, isn't it?
It is.
Because we can talk about success all day long,
Yeah.
but if we don't actually do anything,
Right.
it's all just talk.
Yeah. And we have Walt Disney,
Okay.
who said the way to get started is to quit talking and begin doing.
Words to live by, right?
Yeah.
Action is everything.
It is. It is.
It's the only way to make those dreams a reality.
Okay. So action, action, action.
Exactly.
But we also have this quote that says, opportunities don't happen, you create them.
Right. That's from Chris Grosser.
Yeah. And then,
It's about being proactive,
okay.
taking initiative.
But then there's another quote
Oh.
that says, success usually comes to those who are too busy to be looking for it.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. So are we supposed to be like actively creating opportunities or just working so hard
Right.
that they just find us?
That's a great question.
Yeah. Which one is it?
I think it's a bit of both. You know,
Right,
you have
yeah.
to put yourself out there, but you also have to be so focused on your craft
Yeah.
that you're not constantly chasing after the next big thing.
So it's like this balance.
It is.
Okay. Between planning and doing
Absolute.
and having a vision, but then also taking action.
Yeah, and sometimes those first steps
Yeah.
are the scariest
They are.
because you're stepping outside of your comfort zone.
Right. Yep.
But that's often where the magic happens.
Have you ever experienced that?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Many times.
Okay.
Actually, you know what? This might sound a little silly.
Okay.
When I was starting out in my field,
Yeah.
I was terrified of networking events.
Oh, yeah.
The thought of walking into a room full of strangers and trying to, like, you know,
Make small talk.
make a good impression.
Yeah.
It just filled me with dread.
I get that. I get that. The pre-networking jitters.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But I knew that if I wanted to build relationships
Yeah.
and create opportunities, I had to push past that discomfort.
So what'd you do?
Well, I set myself a small goal.
Okay.
At every event,
Uh-huh.
I would talk to at least 3 new people.
Oh, that's great.
Just 3.
That's a good, like bite-sized goal.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Break it down.
Yeah.
Make it manageable.
Did it get easier?
You know, it did.
Yeah.
The more I did it, the
Yeah.
less scary it became.
That makes sense.
And you know what?
What?
Some of those conversations
Uh-huh.
led to some really amazing things.
Like what?
Unexpected collaborations,
Ooh.
valuable insights,
Wow.
even some lifelong friendships.
That's incredible.
It's amazing how something that seemed so daunting
Yeah.
turned out to be so rewarding.
That's a great example of how taking action, even when you don't want to,
Mm-hmm.
can open up all these new possibilities.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's about being proactive,
Yes.
creating those opportunities.
You know, as we're talking about this, I'm realizing that we haven't really talked about believing in yourself.
Oh, that's interesting.
Like, isn't that the key?
Right. Isn't that supposed to be
Yeah.
the foundation of it all?
Yeah, like the first step to success.
It's funny, though, isn't it?
Huh?
Because it seems like that self-belief is already woven into all these other things we've been talking about.
Oh, what do you mean?
Well, you wouldn't persist through failure
Uh-huh.
if you didn't believe in yourself.
Okay,
You wouldn't create your own opportunities
Yeah.
if you didn't trust your own judgment.
that's true.
So maybe it's not so much about, like, you know,
Yeah.
saying affirmations in the mirror,
Okay.
but about actually going out and doing things
Okay.
that build that self-belief.
So it's less about talking about it and more about doing it.
Exactly.
Right.
Action breeds confidence.
Okay, I like that.
Right.
Yeah.
When you prove to yourself
Yeah.
that you can overcome challenges,
Mm.
that you can achieve goals.
You start to believe in yourself more.
Exactly.
Okay.
And that belief fuels further action. It's a
Oh,
positive
I
cycle.
like that, yeah.
Right.
And that makes me think of another quote that I really like.
Oh, yeah.
It says that success is not a destination, but the road that you're on.
Oh, I love that one.
And it's from Marlon Wayans.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Very profound.
I know, right? For Marlon Wayans, very profound.
He's got some wisdom in there somewhere.
He does, he does.
Yeah.
So it's like success is this ongoing process.
It is. It's a journey.
Yeah.
Not a destination.
Yeah, I can see that.
You know, it's about growth.
Right,
It's about
yeah.
evolution.
So maybe it's those little everyday successes that are the most important.
I think so.
Like those moments where you learn something new
Yeah.
or you face a challenge and you overcome it.
Or you just simply show up and do the work.
Right.
Even when you don't feel like it.
That's so powerful.
It is.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's
Yeah.
important to acknowledge
Okay.
that while a lot of these quotes
Uh-huh.
emphasize things like
Yeah.
hard work
Yeah.
and persistence,
Yeah.
there are a few that talk about luck.
Oh, right. Yeah.
So, you know,
Like, how do we reconcile that?
well, I think luck definitely plays a role,
Okay.
but it's what you do with it
Yeah.
that matters.
Okay.
You might get lucky
Right.
and stumble upon an amazing opportunity,
Yeah.
but if you're not prepared,
Right.
if you haven't put in the work,
Uh-huh.
that luck will fade away.
So you had to be ready for it.
Exactly.
Okay. So it's like,
It's about being in the right place at the right time.
okay.
But also having the skills and the mindset to seize that opportunity.
So it's not enough to just be lucky.
No,
You have to be prepared for that luck.
exactly.
Okay. I see that.
And I think that's why focusing on luck alone is dangerous,
Okay.
because it downplays all that other stuff.
Yeah.
The effort,
Right.
the resilience,
The preparation.
the preparation, exactly.
Oh, it's like that Thomas Jefferson quote.
Yeah.
Right.
Which one's that?
Where he says, I find that the harder I work, the more luck I seem to have.
Oh, yes. Love that one.
Right. So true. It's like the more you put yourself out there,
Mhm.
the more you hustle,
Yeah.
the more opportunities you create.
And the luckier you become.
yeah, okay.
And that brings us back to one of the core themes we've been touching on,
Okay.
which is aligning your actions with your values.
Right, yeah.
We talked about this earlier.
Yeah, with those Bo Bennett and Maya Angelou quotes.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
But it's so important.
It is.
I think it's worth emphasizing
Okay.
because
Yeah.
if you're constantly chasing after things
Uh-huh.
that don't resonate with who you are at your core,
Right.
you're never going to feel truly successful,
Even if you achieve those things.
even if you achieve them.
Wow.
It's about finding that sweet spot
Yeah.
where your passion
Uh-huh.
and your purpose
Yeah.
and your values all align.
Yeah, and so how do you figure out what your values are in the first place?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
And it's one that deserves its own deep dive.
It does.
But I think a good starting point is to just ask yourself some questions.
Like what?
Like, what truly matters to you?
Okay.
What kind of impact do you want to have on the world?
Mm-hmm.
What brings you joy?
And what does success look like for you?
Exactly.
Okay.
Not for society, not for your parents, not for your friends,
Yeah, just you.
but for you.
Okay.
What does it mean to you to live a successful life?
Okay, you know what I'm realizing?
What's that?
We've talked a lot about what success is,
We have.
but maybe it's just as important to talk about what it's not.
Oh, interesting.
What are some, like, common misconceptions about success?
Oh, there are so many.
Really?
One of the biggest ones is that it's a linear path
Like a straight line?
straight to the top.
Okay.
No detours.
Yeah.
No roadblocks.
And in reality, it's not like that.
Oh, not at all.
So it's more like,
It's messy.
okay.
It's unpredictable. It's full of twists and turns and
Oh, yeah.
setbacks.
So it's not like climbing a ladder. It's
Mhm.
more like navigating a jungle gym or something.
That's a great analogy.
Okay, okay.
You're going to have to climb over things. You're going to have
Yeah.
to crawl under things.
Okay.
You might even have to slide back down and start over.
Wow, okay.
But that's part of the adventure.
Okay.
And another big misconception is that success is a zero-sum game,
What do you mean by that?
that there's only so much to go around.
Oh. So if I'm successful...
That means somebody else has to fail.
Okay, and that's not true.
No, not at all.
Why not?
Because success is not finite.
Okay.
There's enough for everyone.
Okay.
In fact,
Okay.
when we support each other,
Yeah.
when we collaborate,
Uh-huh.
we actually create more success.
That's a good point.
We lift each other up.
I like that.
Right.
Yeah.
We inspire each other.
Okay.
And we all benefit.
Okay, so it's not like a pie where you have to...
It's not a fixed pie.
Yeah.
It's an ever-expanding pie.
I like that analogy.
The more we share,
Yeah.
The more we collaborate, the
Mhm.
bigger it gets.
And it reminds me of another misconception,
Okay.
that success is about being perfect.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you have to do everything flawlessly.
Right, right, right.
But that's not true.
No, not at all.
Okay.
In fact, I would argue
Yeah.
that perfectionism can actually hold you back
Okay.
because you get so caught up
Yeah.
in trying to make everything perfect
Yeah.
that you never actually ship anything. You
Okay.
never actually put your work out there.
Yeah, it's like that whole perfect
Okay.
is the enemy of good.
Exactly.
Right.
It's much better to embrace imperfection,
Okay.
to learn from your mistakes,
Yeah.
and to keep iterating,
Wow.
keep improving.
And as we're talking about all of this,
Mm-hmm.
I keep thinking back to that Winston Churchill quote,
Which one?
that success is not final, failure is not fatal, it is the courage to continue that counts.
So powerful.
It is.
You know, it reminds us
Yeah.
that setbacks are inevitable,
Mm-hmm.
but they don't define us.
What defines us is how we respond.
Exactly.
Do we give up?
Yeah.
Or do we get back up,
Yeah.
dust ourselves off,
Yeah.
and keep going?
Yeah.
That's the real test.
Okay.
And, it's important to remember
Okay.
that success might not always look
Yeah.
the way we expect it to.
Okay, what do you mean?
Well, it might not be fame and fortune.
Oh, okay.
It might be something much quieter.
Like what?
Those moments of deep fulfillment,
Mm-hmm.
the connections you make,
Right.
the impact you have on the people around you,
Yeah, I could see
the
that.
legacy you leave behind.
Okay. Okay.
Those things matter just as much,
Yeah.
if not more.
So it's about finding those moments of joy and meaning.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Even in the midst of all the chaos
Yeah.
and uncertainty of life.
Okay, I like that. So as we wrap up this part of our deep dive.
I'm wondering,
Mm-hmm.
what are some tangible things our listeners can do to apply all this?
That's a great question.
How can they start defining success on their own terms?
And then actually start working towards it.
Yeah.
That's what we're going to explore in the next part of our deep dive.
Okay, so stay tuned,
Stay tuned.
and we'll be right back.
After the break. All right, so we're back.
And ready to get practical.
Yes, let's talk about how to actually make all of this happen.
Okay, so we know that success is a journey,
It's about those small steps.
and aligning our actions with our values.
Exactly.
But where do we start?
I think the first step is defining what success actually means to you.
Okay, so ditch those societal expectations.
Yeah, forget about what other people think.
Yeah, okay.
What matters is what you want.
So how do we do that? How do we figure out what we truly want?
It's about getting really honest with yourself, asking yourself some tough questions.
Like what kind of questions?
Like, what are your passions?
Okay.
What makes you come alive?
Okay.
What kind of impact do you want to have on the world?
Okay, so big picture stuff.
Yeah, think big.
Okay,
Dream
good.
big.
And then what?
Well, once you have a clear sense of what you want, you can start setting goals.
Goals, okay.
But not just any goals. We're talking about SMART goals.
SMART goals.
Yes.
I've heard of those.
Specific.
Okay.
Measurable,
Okay.
achievable,
Achievable. Yeah.
relevant,
Okay.
and time-bound.
Okay. I think I need a reminder of why those are so important.
Because they provide a roadmap.
Okay. Like a plan.
Yes, a plan for achieving your goals.
Okay.
Instead of just saying, I want to be more creative.
Right, which is kind of vague.
Very it is.
You would say something like,
I will spend 1 hour every morning for the next month working on a creative project.
oh, okay, so that's very specific.
It is.
You have a clear action,
Mm-hmm.
time frame,
Yeah.
and it's measurable.
You're either doing it or you're not.
Okay, yeah, I get it.
And when you achieve those smaller goals, it builds momentum.
Okay, so it keeps you going.
It does. It gives you that sense of accomplishment,
Okay.
which then fuels you to tackle those bigger goals.
So like a snowball effect.
Exactly. The more you achieve,
Yeah.
the more confident you become,
Okay.
and the more you believe in your ability to make things happen.
Okay, and that ties back to what we were talking about earlier
Yeah.
about self-belief.
Exactly. It's a cycle.
Okay.
Action breeds confidence,
Yeah.
which breeds more action.
Okay, so just start doing something.
Exactly.
Okay.
And remember, as you're working toward those goals,
Mhm.
you're going to face setbacks.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
There will be challenges.
It's inevitable, right?
It is.
Okay.
And that's where those quotes about persistence and resilience come in.
Right, like the Winston Churchill one about courage.
And the George Patton one about bouncing back.
So how do we deal with those setbacks?
Well, first of all, don't beat yourself up.
Okay.
Everyone makes mistakes.
Yeah,
Everyone faces challenges.
it's part of the process.
Exactly. It's not a sign that you're not good enough
Okay.
or that you should give up.
So what should we do instead?
Learn from it
Okay.
Analyze what went wrong,
Mm-hmm.
make adjustments,
Okay.
and try again.
So it's about shifting our perspective, right?
It
Yeah.
is. Instead of seeing setbacks as failures,
Yeah.
see them as opportunities for growth.
Okay, so like lessons learned.
Exactly.
And, another thing that helps
That.
is having a support system.
Oh, absolutely.
People who can cheer you on,
Yeah.
offer advice.
A shoulder to cry on.
Right.
It makes a world of difference
Yeah.
knowing that you're not alone.
And remember,
Yeah.
success is not just about what you accomplish. It's about what you inspire others to do.
Right.
So think about how your journey
Mm-hmm.
can inspire others.
Okay. Yeah.
How can you use your experiences to lift others up?
And help them achieve their own dreams.
Exactly.
And that brings us to a quote that wasn't in our original stack.
Oh. But I think it's perfect for this moment.
Okay, what is it?
It says, success means having the courage, the determination, and the will to become the person you believe you were meant to be.
Wow, that's powerful.
It is.
It's about being true to yourself
Yeah.
and having the courage to pursue your dreams.
No matter what.
No matter what.
Okay, so as we wrap up this part of our deep dive,
Yeah.
what final thoughts do you have for our listeners?
Well, I would just say this.
Yeah.
Success is a journey.
Right.
It's not a destination.
And it's about those small, consistent efforts
Exactly.
and the choices we make every day.
The choices we make.
So embrace the journey.
Yes.
Celebrate those small victories
And never stop striving.
to be the best version of yourself.
That's it. That's the secret.
And that's a wrap.
On this episode of The Deep Dive.
Thank you for listening, and we'll see you next time.
Okay, so we've talked about what success is and what it's not.
Right, and how it's this journey, not a destination. But I think our listeners are probably wondering,
Yeah.
how do we actually put all of this into practice?
Right. How do we take all these inspiring ideas
Yeah.
and turn them into tangible action?
Yeah, where do we even start?
Well, I think it goes back to what we were saying before
Okay.
about defining what success means to you.
So like figuring out your own personal vision.
Exactly.
Okay.
Not just chasing after what society tells you.
Right, so like ditch the expectations,
Ditch the expectation.
the comparisons,
All of that.
the shoulds.
The shoulds, yeah.
Okay.
It's time to tune out all that noise
Okay.
and listen to your own inner voice.
So what does that look like in practice?
Well, it starts with asking yourself some really honest questions.
Okay.
Like, what truly matters to you?
What gets you excited?
What makes you come alive?
What do you want to leave behind?
What kind of legacy do you want to create?
Okay, and once you have some answers to those questions,
Then you can start seeding goals.
goals, okay?
But again, not just any goals.
Right, the SMART goals.
Smart goals.
Okay, remind me what those are again.
Specific,
Okay.
measurable,
Uh-huh.
achievable,
Okay,
and
and time-bound?
right.
Okay, so why are those so important?
Because they give you a roadmap,
Okay, like a plan.
a plan for success.
So instead of just saying,
I want to be successful,
right, which is like super vague,
you would say.
I will achieve X, Y, and Z by this date.
Exactly.
Okay, so it's about breaking it down.
Breaking it down into smaller steps.
Okay.
Making it actionable.
Okay, I like that.
And when you achieve those smaller goals,
Yeah,
it builds momentum.
it keeps you going.
Exactly.
Okay, so it's like a snowball effect.
Okay.
You start small,
Yeah.
and as you gain momentum,
Mm-hmm.
you can tackle bigger and bigger goals.
So even those small wins matter.
Every win matters,
Okay.
no matter how small.
And I'm guessing this is where those quotes about persistence and resilience come in. They do, because you're going to face challenges along the way.
Right, setbacks.
Setbacks, failures, roadblocks.
So what do we do when those inevitably happen?
Well, first of all, remember that they're normal.
Okay, so don't freak out,
Don't freak out. It's part of the process.
Okay.
It doesn't mean you're not good enough.
or that you should give up.
Exactly.
Okay,
It's an opportunity to learn and grow.
so how do we do that? How do we learn from those setbacks?
Well, you can analyze what went wrong.
Okay,
What could you have done differently?
and then adjust your approach.
Exactly.
So it's about being flexible.
being adaptable, being willing to pivot.
Okay, and not being afraid to ask for help.
Oh, absolutely.
Because sometimes we just need that outside perspective
We do.
to help us see things more clearly.
And sometimes we just need someone to remind us
Yeah.
that we're capable of achieving great things.
It's like that whole "it takes a village" idea.
Exactly.
And that reminds me of another really powerful quote that we talked about earlier,
Which one's that?
that success is not just about what you accomplish in your life, it's about what you inspire others to do.
Oh, that's a good one.
It is, right?
He's so powerful.
And it makes me think that,
Maybe success is about more than just ourselves.
yeah, maybe it's about using our experiences
Mm-hmm.
to help others,
To lift each other up.
to make the world a better place.
Exactly.
Okay, and on that note,
Yeah.
I think it's time to wrap up this deep dive.
I think so too.
It's been quite a journey,
It has.
but I hope our listeners have gained some valuable insights about what success really means.
And how to achieve it.
So to our listeners, we encourage you to
Yeah.
keep exploring, keep learning,
Keep growing.
keep striving.
And most importantly,
Yeah.
never give up on your dreams.
Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into success
And we'll see you next time.
for another deep dive into
Something fascinating.
Till then, keep diving deep.